Hi Vogue, I'm Cindy Crawford.
I'm Christy Turlington.
I'm Naomi Campbell.
I'm Linda Evangelista, and this is Behind the Shoot.
My reaction when I was asked to be part of the September cover shoot was, is this really happening? Just to get us all together, shooting with Edward and Anna. Overjoyed would be the word.
To come back together for Vogue on a cover was super exciting.
One of the things that I love about the fashion industry is these friendships from people all over the world. You know, not only Christy, Linda, and Naomi, but you know, the hair, the makeup, Edward. It really is like your second family.
So, you know, we discuss our children, what we're doing, it's just always great to catch up.
We get there, we've forgotten that we have to work.
The inspiration for the shoot was to show the girls as they were now in their lives. We weren't recreating images from the 90s. They're not supposed to be who they were when they were 21. It's who they are now. And we wanted to sort of show it through the lens of joy. The atmosphere on the shoot is electric. Everybody's having fun. The music is blasting. You have a whole generation from the 90s and all these young assistants on set. I mean, to watch Linda working, to watch Naomi moving, to watch Cindy posing, Christy, that eternal glow. It's a really special day. I think it's one of those shoots nobody in there will forget for a while. Today we're shooting with Rafael Pavarotti, a young photographer, not even 30 years old, from Brazil.
There's a very sort of relaxed vibe. It's kind of adding to a nuance of the day and sort of trying to meet Raf where he is and for him to also sort of embrace what we represent. So there's just like a nice thing happening with the energy and vibe on the set.
So far I've done one picture and I have to say, I had so much fun. And when he said we had it, I was like, oh no, already over?
Edward, I've known for years. He's a great combination of sweetheart, but also he loves fashion and he loves making fashion and he just brings that enthusiasm and that excitement.
I trust Edward and I trust Ralph. That's really it. I didn't have any questions because I trust.
When Naomi, Cindy, Linda, and Christy came along, they really fulfilled people's fantasies, the idea of what a Vogue model is. You saw them in videos for George Michael. You saw them on catwalks. You saw them with these incredibly famous sort of boyfriends. But they also represented their generation. The whole new generation was coming up in the 90s, sort of very different from the 80s. So, you know, yes, they really were the girls, all the girls wanted to be, you know? And they were all so different, right?
I've known these ladies for most of my life at this point. There's something about our early years that really felt very joyful and very celebratory. Even though life was certainly not perfect, when you look back, there is a sense of fun.
Back in the day, we didn't do like one show a day. We had them packed in there bumper to bumper. It can feel lonely up on that runway. So to pass someone, it's always reassuring. You just don't feel so alone.
We were allowed to show our personalities. Our personalities is part of us that makes us all our individual characters. I'm blessed that I came at that time. I wouldn't have wanted to come at another time.
People only saw this two-dimensional picture of us. And then for me to, you know, be able to be silly, or we were all on House of Style, like people got to know us a little bit. Vogue asked Peter Lindbergh to do a cover that, you know, kind of defined the 90s woman, like who is this new 90s woman? Peter said, it's not just one woman. It's more about diversity. And obviously, we've come a long way since then. But even at that time, this idea to have 5 different looking women, but we somehow all look good together, photographed. And I think we were all wearing pretty much our own jeans.
And then Giorgio Santangelo wrap tops. We were on the street in Tribeca. We got ready in a motorhome just on the corner.
We were on the middle of the street in, where were we? under the Brooklyn Bridge or something.
We all felt, I think, very much ourselves in that moment.
We all loved working with Peter. It was relaxed.
The thing about Peter that I really appreciate, probably more now than I did then, is he just really celebrated women, but also your individuality.
It's sort of, I'd say, the beginning of what this era kind of represents.
I didn't think it would have that reaction. I didn't think a video would come from it. I didn't think George Michael would be calling. I didn't think any of that.
Never knew at the time doing that cover that it would turn out to be the phenomenon that it turned out to be, and what it would lead to and how it would change our careers.
Tatiana, who's not with us today, I met her before anyone in the group. The sad thing is we have lost so many people in our lives, and oftentimes we connect when we hear of some horrible news. These are people that we worked with for so long, and so when anyone goes, you know, it's a moment to kind of reminisce and think about those experiences.
Remembering the Peter Lindbergh shoot, there's two other Vogues that were special to me. First was the French Vogue. I had no idea at the time when I shot that French Vogue that I was the first woman of color to ever be on it. And British Vogue. That was also a very important moment for me, being British and being the first Black British model on the cover. The most important changes for me that I've seen and that I've advocated for is being diverse and inclusive. And finally, we're at a place where I can say things are moving in a great direction.
The world puts a lot of pressure, obviously, on women as they age. We still can have fun, we can still be beautiful, we can still be visible.
This Vogue cover is a celebration of that, a celebration of our careers. We're still here, we can still model.
It's really the icing on the cake for this whole journey that we've been on.
I hope this cover speaks to everyone, to all the people that have been supportive to us from the 90s, to all the people that have followed us, to all the women out there, to show that age is a number and it doesn't mean anything. Today, you are who you are as an individual.
We're women. We were women then, but we were young women then. And we're fully women in our power, in our bodies, not going anywhere. And maybe we'll be back in 35, 40 years again.